And here we are with a Christmas-themed episode. With me tonight is...
Ho ho ho. Die Hard is the best Christmas movie and I will fight you.
See, I thought you were going to say Jack the Ripper because we have the Raiden costume.
No, that'd be too trite.
You get the Raiden costume from completing a certain number of training simulations. You don't have to do like I did and get
all of them.
Gold on all the
I forget
quests, thankfully. You do have to get it on some, but it's not very hard to get.
Yeah.
And we will be moving the plot forward in this episode, with one of the more memorable missions in the game.
Yes.
And this is the last kind of normal mission in which you complete the mission, then you go back to the normal overworld, because the next one is the start of the endgame missions, and you're pretty much locked into the conclusion from there. So obviously, that's if you're pretty good, the final sequence of missions, and the ending of the present day plot, that'll take you a couple hours, I think, probably.
Yeah.
It took me about maybe 2.5 to 3 hours, just because I wanted to do the bonus objectives.
Yeah.
And we've got pigeons to interact with.
Yes.
I never noticed the really googly orange eyes on those pigeons. They're googly, I believe, is the appropriate adjective.
Can't say I did either, so there's that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Although, you know what I still haven't done? Recorded the part of the finale that went badly the first time I recorded it. It's like a mission and a half worth of stuff that messed up on the recording, so I still need to get around to doing that. But, you know, I'll get around to it soon. We're pretty close.
Yeah.
Although we still need to get the armor of Brutus, which is going to be in the next video, I think. And that's not a spoiler because we've seen the armor of Brutus, we just couldn't get to it.
Right.
We had to deal with some ancient Roman locking mechanism, which apparently very complicated.
Smartly, just get a bunch of keys and then just stick them in there. They hid all the keys. And there's no locksmith at all.
They didn't want anyone to... No, and they can't get explosives or anything. That would be ridiculous.
Okay.
Oh, and here's an area of the map we have not been to in a very long time. Il Vaticano. That's because there really is no reason to go here in the main game until fairly late, and it's mainly because of these guys.
Yeah. Really, the only reason to go here is because they're people guards, and you have to kill people guards for like one challenge, and that's about it. There's nothing here other than Savannah's fragments and chests that you don't really even need.
And the last lair of Romulus opens near the end of the game, but we can't go there right now. We have seen Papal Guard enemy type. Like, remember the Gladiator? I think he acts like a Papal Guard, maybe a slightly enhanced version.
Yeah.
But everything he can do is the same, and he looks slightly different, I think. Okay, so the Thieves Guild. There is actually some Thieves missions located in the back of the Thieves Guild. I did not know this when I was playing the game.
Yes.
You can see the icon on the map. I did not notice it when I was playing.
Yeah. It said we're just going to go gambling.
Very easily.
The giant missing thing.
Yes. We've got time. We've always got time for
Which
games.
is a shame because the Thieves Guild missions are the only ones that actually have a net benefit to beating them all. The others don't do much of anything. The Thieves ones will stop random bandit attacks from happening.
That's true. They will.
So this is the stupid.
And I gotta say, you know,
dice game. It's a stupid dice game. I think we played this at least once before. It's stupid.
Yeah, there's nothing to it other than luck. No strategy at all. Although, you know, I have been playing a lot of Yakuza lately, and this game's gambling game, that doesn't even compare to Yakuza's gambling scene.
Which one?
There is a lot of stuff to gamble on.
Yes.
I Platinum Zero and Kiwami recently.
And,
in fact,
and you can use a little girl to predict the rolls of dice.
Yes, and she turns out she's really good at it. Except when they're using loaded die, but that doesn't count.
Yes.
Yes, all right.
Yeah, this game is just dumb. That's all you can say.
Yeah.
Although these guys are not very plussed about having a cyborg playing with them.
9.
Sweet in the pot, amigo.
I tried to explain the rules of this, except I really don't care too much anymore. It's just stupid.
Yeah. You just roll until something good happens.
Sweet in the pot, amigo.
You're only doing this for an achievement.
There's really... Yes.
That's literally the only reason we're doing this. There are better ways to make money, namely ways just sitting on your ass.
Yeah, there is no point to using this to make money. It's much more profitable being a real estate tycoon than trying to fleece the florins off of these guys. Because look at these guys. You think they're carrying around a lot of money?
Well, they're sitting in the Thieves Guild, so probably not. Yeah. And gambling is bad, kids. Gambling is bad.
I think the way it works is you get a winning roll and a losing roll. You roll a winning roll, you get some money. The opposite happens, you lose money. If you don't roll a winning roll or a losing roll, you can continue betting money. See, there I just won.
Yeah. And there, I think that you won enough because it's only like... you gotta get the achievement, yeah, never mind.
Yeah. It'll pop when it pops. Yeah, see, look at that, I'm on a roll here. And now I never have to play this stupid game again in my life.
Yes. Unlike 9-Man Morris.
Oh, God. 9-Man Morris.
The only way I could reliably win 9-Man Morris was by literally loading up a separate 9-Man Morris simulator and playing against the against AI.
Oh, yes.
And pitting two AIs against each other. Because I did not give a shit.
That was amazing. You know, I can't imagine too many people played 9-Man Morris before Assassin's Creed 3. And I'll bet like almost 100% of the simulators came up just in response.
I think I have said in the past I actually had. That's because like my grandmother had a little 9-Man Morris that somehow I don't know how she came by it, but it wasn't her.
She inherited it from her colonial ancestors.
That'd be hard.
Alternatively, you are Toffle, so you're a case unto yourself.
I would say that was really hard because technically she was. Most of my family only came over in the 1900s, so
that's unfortunate.
I do not have long colonial roots. Okay, so this mission is that hey, Machiavelli might be doing something evil. Okay, spoilers. I think we've tried to record this video like I don't know how many times. Machiavelli isn't evil.
Once.
The fox is just an idiot. And
he's Machiavelli, so you know what he does what he does.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, there's an ambush here. Somebody has obviously told the people that the place called the Fox's Rest is where the fox is hanging out. So obviously, this must be a Machiavellian plot of some nature.
See, I was trying to give that one guy a proper burial, and the axe dude just didn't let me.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that Borgia Courier is getting away. Yeah. Volpe, can't you handle this? He's right there.
Yes, I'm sure that the attack on the Auditore Villa, when they knew that the assassin was to Auditore, was a big factor. That Machiavelli was a big factor in that.
You know, what I do like about the Borgia Courier spawning in the more rural areas is that they don't have a whole lot.
They're better than Templar tax collectors. They spawn more frequently
That-
than the Templar tax collectors in
Indeed.
Revelations.
You did get an achievement for mugging a Templar tax collector.
Yeah, I know. It's the stupidest fucking one. Because they never show up. They never show up.
See, I was hoping to get a really nice trophy screenshot of me mugging the guy on the street, but of course he ran up to a rooftop. They have no consideration for trophy screenshots, I swear.
Yeah.
And I'm also including all those developers who have a bunch of trophy screenshots on black screens. That shit's not cool. I hate that.
That just might be.
Boy, these guys are coming. These guys are coming out of the woodwork here.
So
That was like 8 guys who dropped down from that wall there. And yeah, with a nearly full Assassin's Guild, the encounters like that pretty easy. You can just have your dudes do all the stuff. Although
So-
my mention of a full Assassin's Guild there might be a bit of an anachronism. If you'll remember the technical previous video we did.
look, just because somehow episode 23 went out as episode 22, and episode 23 is, I don't know what is what anymore.
Well, I am
It's
neither
December.
I am neither confirming nor denying that happened. It may have
People
happened.
would like to know what when we are out recording this for future reference compared to the previous one or whatever.
Again, I'm not confirming that happened. I'm just saying there is a possibility that what I just said was an anachronism about Assassin's Guild. I am guessing that is Smash Bros in the background.
Maybe.
Maybe. Boy, that one thief is he is not having a good day. He's being bounced around by everybody.
I secretly hope that somehow, God forbid, that one of the DLC characters for Smash Brothers will be Ezio. I don't know if there's any. I mean, there has to be some possibility of it, but.
Did you see that one? Did you see that one thief who was getting hit and bounced around a lot by me?
No, I'm not.
think-
I'm gonna lie. No, I did not.
I'm pretty sure he got killed at some point, which upsets me.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to the fucking Coliseum because there's the dude who, if you remember, like 10 videos ago or 11 videos ago, because there's one like in between here that wasn't supposed to be here. There was a dude who was the fuck buddy of Lucrezia, and he has a key to the Castello, and now he's going to die.
Yeah, Cesare's wrapping up some loose
he's the
ends,
fuck buddy of
shall we say.
Lucrezia, and Cesare is yeah.
You didn't need to call it a fuck
Just in
buddy.
case anybody forgot about that.
It could have been just a tryst, you know? You don't need to go down into the gutter here.
No,
Yeah,
I'm going absolutely down the gutter because we're going underneath one right now.
The mission coming up, it is an interesting one, I'll say. And it's one that really scared me because the bonus objective kept glitching on me. Even when I did it perfectly, it still said I didn't complete the bonus objective. But yeah, all I did was leave the mission and then come back, and then it fixed itself, which, you know, it's classic open world programming.
Yeah, this memory sequence, I don't want to be really down on it. It is actually a really fun memory sequence. It's just
it goes by very quickly.
It's a Campania that does nothing. It's
right. One thing I will say about open world games is the Ubisoft ones tend to be glitchy in funny ways a lot of the times. Yakuza actually works really well. I don't really see anything glitch-worthy. Like, sometimes the physics when you send guys flying can be wonky, but stuff like guys popping in and really crazy physics stuff, I don't see that very much.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's such like a densely packed overworld. There's a ton of NPCs wandering around in detail in the environment that you think would be really glitchy, but it's really not.
But there isn't. But there also isn't a ton of like draw distance either. So
That is true.
kind of.
I cannot think of anything else to make.
I cannot think of it.
But as far as like crazy
So,
shit happening, Yakuza's not really guilty of that. And that guy's highlighted for some
I don't
reason,
know.
but I don't know why.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I would say that. I mean, I've literally played a mission where a wall falls back and there's a bunch of yakuza dressed up as babies rocking back and forth with bottles. The best part is that it's in the original game, and then they reused the animation jigs for the new one for the remake.
Really? In Kiwami?
Get ready for that in Kiwami too.
Oh boy.
Too.
He will lead me to Lucrezia.
Yes,
Yeah,
in addition
they
to,
even called him the fuckboy.
in addition to me being a Christmas episode, it's also my birthday episode because my birthday is on the 14th, which is in 2 days from now.
I will.
Ah,
And because I'm me, I will
Happy
be getting.
birthday.
Thank you. I will also be getting Kiwami 2, which should be pretty fun.
nice.
I put
There's
about.
actually going.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Kiwami 2 is good, but then there's also the Fist of the North Star game.
Yeah, kind of a
and-
Yakuza with not Yakuza with all the trappings of Yakuza.
It's literally a Yakuza game that has been reskinned to be Fist of the North Star-ish.
Gotcha.
For Christ's sake, there's a cabaret club management mini game.
You gotta have a cabaret club management game.
I don't know how. Get ready for that in Kiwami too.
But yeah, it's actually been.
Get to go.
It's actually been a bit since we've seen Cesare. The last time we saw him was when he was riding out of the Castello.
It
But
was getting.
we have been working to undermine his power base here in Roma.
Yes.
And this guy is the brother of that Edigio Troche guy who was getting himself into a lot of trouble, but
Yeah, this
we
is
had
the
to
brother
bail
Rodney
him, so him
Dangerfield
out.
dude.
Not the fault. Ah,
The other Troche is safely behind the walls of the Courtesans Guild.
you intend to kill me? Your most loyal friend? Of course not.
He was his secretary or something.
Yeah.
I think.
Thank you, Cesare. You will not regret.
And of course he gets garroted by Cesare's hitman.
Rigoletto.
Yes.
Costumes for the play.
Yeah.
Lucrezia is mine.
So, anyways, Ezio for Smash. Let's make this happen.
Make doubly sure it's done correctly.
Let's look at it this way. They put Joker for Smash in. Joker has never been on a Nintendo system.
Yeah, see, I think they're getting away from the whole.
can get
I think
Ezio for
I think they're
Smash.
getting away from the whole has to have debuted on a Nintendo console principle. I don't think that's quite up.
There is literally one Persona.
I don't think that.
There's literally one Persona game, one or two Persona games on Nintendo
Yeah,
systems.
see,
And none of them remain.
I don't think that's quite operational anymore.
Unless we're talking about like Persona Dancing in the Darkness.
That doesn't
The dancing.
that doesn't get a count.
Besides, it's not like there isn't Ubisoft content in the game already, so come on, make it happen.
Although it is pretty funny how.
There's fucking rabbits.
Although it
Rabbits.
is pretty funny how apparently reluctant Squeenix was to have Cloud in the game, because apparently there's Cloud in a couple Final Fantasy songs, and that's pretty much it. Because Squeenix is gonna Squeenix.
Yeah, and now we're doing it too.
Yes.
Because God hates us.
Although this is kind of a mission long tail, but there's fairly long parts of jumping around and poking folks in between. And Cesare never stops to look behind him or anything. So it's just keeping at a distance.
It's just so you haven't.
Yes. And of course not bump.
It's keeping at a distance, and he'll also.
And I assume if you bump into those
And he'll also, I was going to say.
Yeah.
If you bump into the guys, they'll turn around, then he'll look at you, and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
fuck," and then you have to restart.
But you can.
What I was going to say was that he does kind of run into some highly densely guarded areas that you can't just get around with the horse without like getting more than like 40 meters away from him and triggering the autofly.
Yeah.
So you have to be smart about it.
Oh, and I was about to mention that you can malice the civilians as much as you want.
Look, this isn't Assassin's Creed Odyssey where you can actually kill civilians because you have no qualms about killing civilians. You're a mercenary.
You know what I could have done just then? I could have stolen Cesare's horse, and those guys wouldn't have done anything to stop me, because I was right outside their the red zone.
Oh,
I was just a normal dude stealing Cesare's horse.
yeah. So this is.
You can see there are a ton of guys lurking around, and there's not really a great path to sneak through them that's totally foolproof. Especially since in cases like this, you really only want to kill who's absolutely necessary. Because if you kill folks, guys are going to come snooping around, and it's a whole thing. You don't have time to waste on that.
But you're pretty much in the clear from this.
Yeah, this is probably the hard. Actually, I think the second part is harder than this. Basically, it's just a matter of moving quickly, because you linger around, you're probably going to get spotted by somebody. Okay, and that's all you have to do to.
What you're doing now is you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Uh-oh.
The bonus objective is just to have your assassin recruits take out the marked targets for the costumes. You don't have to do anything else other than that. But the thing is, when I first played this mission, as I mentioned, that was glitching on me, because I would have the assassin recruits do everything, but it still wouldn't trigger. So I just ran into some weird bug that never happened again. But, because, posterity and all, I will be leaving. This is technically a glitched run, and that at the end of it, I will not be getting the bonus objective, but in reality, I did.
Yeah. So.
Because, when you run into a weird bug, unless it's like totally game-breaking, you want to keep it. Like, the underground sections in Assassin's Creed 3 were really glitchy. And just, I remember Connor like floating through sewers or something to end up on the street. They were really bad.
I see.
And that.
Yeah. See, I'm now picturing it's like the underground segments in Assassin's Creed 3, and I'm like, there was an underground in Assassin's Creed 3, and I'm like, oh, that fast travel system that nobody ever used.
Yes.
That's it. That you had to go unlock stuff, and it was really bad.
There was an underground section, yes.
I was like, oh man.
I'm honestly surprised I remember
and
that.
I totally managed to like completely do it with Hatham when I wasn't supposed to. And I don't know how. So Hatham was in parts of the map where he should not have been.
Again, that's Ubisoft open.
It was weird. That game is...
Assassin's Creed 3 is a very strange game. In a lot of ways, it's a very, very odd game.
I want to see what they... I hope they kind of... I'll see what they do with the remaster. I hope they kind of... I know it can't be a director's cut or try to get it to be a little bit better, but it'd be nice to resolve some more...
Actually, for me, I would like to just revisit it and see what my feelings are on it a few years from when I initially played it. Just see, do I like it more or less than when I first played the game?
Yeah.
That's a big reason why I play remasters. Just, does this game I liked when I was like 10 years old still hold up? Does or it doesn't?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. I think there's... definitely something to be said for that. I think generally, with the exception of like a lot of the plot and characterization of 3, it isn't as bad, but there's just some really, really stupid plot parts in 3. Really stupid parts.
But yeah, for this second part, if you don't use the courtesans, it's really hard to get through undetected. Because there is a lot of dudes and not a whole lot of places to hide.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's a third part, but it's pretty short.
So, yeah. So, obviously what we're doing right now is we want to get into the play that'll be in the Coliseum. The Passion Play.
The thing is, a lot of Cesare and Micheletto's boys are going to be around too. So we apparently need more than Ezio to handle things.
So we're trying to, other than the fact that Ezio alone.
Yeah,
is really
I mean he even says so.
Who knows? Maybe
I'm echoing your audio a bit. But as Ezio even says in Revelations, I alone am sufficient, or something along those lines. Even he knows he could basically handle all of this by himself.
Ezio is really good at one thing, and that one thing is
Although
killing.
you gotta hand it to Connor and Edward and stuff like that. They were way better technically at killing than he was, because those guys sink entire ships without like a second thought. I mean, even in actual memory sequences.
Ezio shot. Ezio took down ships without a second thought.
Okay, you have a kill count of 3 ships. I'm pretty sure Edward beat that during the course of Black Flag's storyline.
There wasn't a high-powered cannon.
Well, that's Ezio's problem now, isn't it?
Or not in the...
Being totally totally inconspicuous here.
I'm surprised you just didn't rip down the poster just to be a total dick about it.
Well, see, here's the thing. They clearly have a picture of a guy in a hood. And am I a guy in a hood right now? No. I am a guy with a visor. There is a big difference there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the game has with you with Cesare walking right towards you. And I'm pretty sure they didn't intend for you to trigger the cutscene there. Did that guy just need... Did that assassin...
And of course
yeah, see, I did not fail that. That's bullshit. I did that perfectly, but the game was glitching on me.
You see, the problem is that they killed... No, you didn't. That's the problem. You assassinated 5 of the 6 targets. The 6th one died because he got shot in combat.
I don't think that's...
I don't know why it didn't kill the other one.
No.
No, that's legitimately why. I don't know why it didn't.
Because the game was glitching, which this game will do sometimes.
Yeah. So basically, we've
how.
All right, come on. Let's go put on it. Let's go get our idol master and go put on a play for these people and turn it into a musical that will entertain.
Like how one time in Assassin's Creed 2, I had a guy throwing rocks at me while he was standing in midair. Sometimes these games will just break. It's pretty funny usually.
Yeah. Yes. El Coliseo.
See, here's the fun fact. Despite the obvious prominence the Colosseum has, the closest you ever get to it is like right near the start of Rome when you're riding near it. And you don't ever have to go back to it until this point, pretty late in the game. Although, obviously, it's the Colosseum, so most...
Yeah, there's
it's the
really only like... Well, I guess there's like 3 or 4 things that take place in the Colosseum. There's a Temple of Romulus that's hidden underneath it, and then there's this mission, and then there's a thieves race in here if you do it. And quite frankly, that's about the only reason you'd ever go.
Yes, there's a feather on top of the Colosseum, which for some reason I did not acquire until very late.
I was going to say it's because you wanted a great screenshot for your trophy picture, but then you say
no, that
I
was
wanted
Il
the one on the Parthenon.
I wanted Il Campidoglio to be my last feather screenshot, and that's what I got the last one of. My brain just mentally cut off the image of a feather being here for some reason.
Yeah. So everybody, when there's a feather on the
Yes.
menu, I just pretend it doesn't exist.
And then I was looking around for the final feather, which I had not accounted for, and found it on top of the mercenary barracks, which is a thing that which is a thing they will revisit in Revelations, where they'll put the memoir pages in at prominent areas of the map, like the Hagia Sophia and the whatever market it's called, the Blue Market or something. That big market in the center of Istanbul, Grand Bazaar. That's it.
The Grand Bazaar.
It was Grand Bazaar.
The Grand Bazaar
at the beginning of Skyfall.
The Blue Market.
Pop culture reference there. But yeah, this part's really cool because you can either climb down like an idiot and do it a really boring way, or you could parachute in, which is much cooler looking. Even though I think the whole stealthy infiltration thing is probably a bit hampered by the fact you can see a guy parachuting into the Colosseum. It is not the most inconspicuous entrance.
You're in a sneaking suit. You're in a sneaking
You know what I found out on one of my on my nth playthrough of MGS is that if you take a long time getting to the elevator at the beginning of the game, Campbell will say something different to you, and the codec call it the heliport. But for like 95% of players, they'll never see that dialogue because you can get to the elevator pretty fast if you know what you're doing. Unfortunately, we have this whole setup with
probably the one in the middle.
Jesus Christ and the
Look! We could learn that there's different heroes of Golgoloth, and one of them is like Saint Dismas.
Yeah, I was about to make the Uncharted 4 reference.
Sorry.
We have oh god, I forget his name. Barabbas is one of them.
I don't know. Jesus, not Jesus, and
read your Uncharted 4 is what I'm saying.
Yes. Be like Nathan Drake, but don't be like Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake's
especially in Uncharted 1, where he would quite gleefully exclaim when he kills like 4 guys with a single grenade launcher shot. He was yucking it up in Uncharted 1.
Yeah. So really, this is one of the few missions in the game where it's really like a gigantic.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of marathon missions where there's a lot of parts to it.
You would see in other ones.
Long.
Yes, because this really is once you learn that Pietro's going to die, this becomes one very, very long, what would otherwise be one assassination mission, just spread off across like 5 different.
It's much the same thing they'll do for
fun for
Sequence 9, the final sequence. But in Sequence 9, it's on a much grander scale. But did you see that translation of the guy's name, Long Yus? Yeah, I have never heard it translated. I've never seen it translated like that.
That'd be Longinus.
Not sure if that's more like air. Yeah, I've always heard Longinus.
Yeah. Usually I'm familiar with Longinus. Yeah,
although,
I've seen Longinus and Longinus. Yeah. But then again, I also am a big person who liked Evangelion, and there's Lance
and see
in there. And hey, Netflix is bringing back Evangelion.
I don't think we're being quite.
Dub, so we'll see.
I don't think we're being.
Hey, there's a layer on this. Shut
okay,
up.
What's supposed to happen if you're not wearing an alternate? Yeah, go ahead.
Now, if we were playing this norm, yeah. I was gonna.
Yeah.
You'd be dressed
but
up like
because you're in a costume, that overrides everything in gameplay.
Yeah. So for this bit of the mission, there's like 3 spots that you have to stand in.
Yeah.
And you can either do Eagle Vision or just kind of guess. If you stand in the wrong spot, everybody gets suspicious.
No, it's Ezio. It's Ezio, so you don't die. And Pietro gets
And
killed
Pietro gets
'cause he's
killed.
a chump. Ezio could handle this crowd like it wasn't even there.
True. True.
But this is a passion play which reenacts the death of Jesus Christ.
Yep. A fairly popular and common thing during the Middle Ages.
Not so.
Not. I'm not gonna. No. I'm sorry. I have another video going on in the background, and we're looking at this, and then all of a sudden I hear a faint cry in the distance of Super Dragon, and
Okay, I just wanted to get this cutscene because I wanted to let Micheletto finish his speech and then get the special cutscene. But you do have to poke him pretty quick.
Yeah.
That centurion says that he is dead. King, will I not deny?
But I imagine your amusement was aided by the fact that that one guy kept walking into me.
No, it's.
But now we have another problem, because Cesare Micheletto is a very thorough assassin.
Yes.
I'm
not yet dead.
Yeah.
Look, I got out of this white room once.
Canonically,
killing somebody before too.
I don't
Didn't work
I don't
out
have
too
the
well.
Wikipedia
Let's try it
article
again.
handy, but
Don't do anything. I grew a beard. Maybe I'll grow an even longer beard
yes,
now.
you know, removing his helmet but not removing it because he's still in the costume. That was great.
Yes.
Keeping people
Yes.
in special outfits in
Alright.
this series can sometimes lead to some pretty funny results.
Yes. 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 And now for my favorite bonus objective in the game. Do not swim. You have to leave the Colosseum and walk across the land to a doctor. And your bonus objective is do not swim. Now, I'm going to say there may be more to this mission than what I just described. But I still love it because it means if you're looking at it, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Why would I have to swim? There's literally people right
Lordy.
outside the gate.
I was going to say that there's famous parts of
See?
Assassin's Creed 4 where Edward will dramatically take his hood off, but there's a costume that doesn't have his hood on, so he'll dramatically take his hood off, but nothing will happen. That's what that Ezio taking his helmet off bit reminded me of. But now, for some reason, we're put into the normal costume. I love how he says "cantaré." Hey, you know what's bullshit? We don't get Ezio's Centurion costume after this mission. They had a perfectly good character model.
No.
And hey, we're in Rome. We're right.
Yeah, leeches. Thank you.
Back in the
Leeches will
writing
solve
class.
everything unless your name is George Washington.
I don't know why we're back in the writing costume.
Give me the key.
Uh-oh.
Thank you. Alright, I gotta fuck Call of Lucrezia now. Oh, hey, it's that one dude that we remember from the start of the game that hasn't shown up ever since.
It
But
was
guess
not
what? He was
Machiavelli
the
at all.
traitor all along, and it wasn't Machiavelli.
Momento. You were at the Villa Auditore during the attack.
The conveniently
Yeah.
forgotten plot
I would
character
not
who showed
forgive
up
you for
literally
not
for like
remembering who this
not
guy
even
was.
5 seconds. It got like 2 lines of dialogue.
And the classic trick is to do it. Yeah,
So
catch.
basically,
Do not kill
now
him.
you
catch
actually
this
have
guy.
to.
And the classic trick is to force. No, you dipshit. We're not killing him. What am I paying you for, huh?
You don't pay them.
Yeah.
They just kill.
See, you'd think
You've
the
told
game
them
would
to
like mark
kill
him as a
and
special
kill and
NPC
kill.
that assassins won't go after, but you'd be all wrong in a bag of chips about that.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, the game loves to throw these guard blockades at you, and the classic trick is to force jump your way through them.
Yeah. And so this is of course obviously why there is a side objective of Don't Get Wet. It's because this guy will actually take quite a circuitous route around the map and will eventually get near water. So there actually is a danger of getting wet, other than, that wasn't present in the 50 feet between you where you started and had to drop off Piet or whatever the fuck. Idiot fuckboy.
Yep.
Yeah, this is roughly where I usually catch them too.
Why did you run?
That's another funny thing about the riding costume, is that Ezio can't retract his hidden blade right. It's still there, it's still there, it's just not part of the character model. And the reason the riding costume is even in this game, and we have the cardboard box gag with Da Vinci earlier in the game, is that Hideo Kojima is a big Assassin's Creed fan and loves, really wanted Assassin's Creed Metal Gear Solid crossover, so the Altair costume got in MGS4, and there was stuff in Peace Walker.
You know what else could be a you know what else could be an MGS Assassin's Creed crossover?
Yeah, you got me there. And here's where you can't jump into the water, because you have to go to Tiber Island to get Machiavelli before La Volpe does. Unfortunately, if you mess up with the horse like I did, timing can be pretty tight, but it's okay. Just don't panic. You have about 20-second window.
I discovered the traitor. What? One of our men.
He was at the center of everything.
He carried this letter.
With 9 fingers.
My God. This is good news. More than you know.
Yes.
I am once again in your debt.
Real talk from Ezio Auditore.
Friends who trust one another. Yes. Thank you for relaying the message in time.
Yeah.
Come, Niccolo.
Yeah.
It has been far too long since we've talked. I heard the Colosseum.
Jesus Cristo. If you ever wanted to know how to say Jesus Christ in Italian.
Seems Jesus Cristo was resurrected.
And that will wrap up sequence 8. We have a short cutscene.
Yep.
To formally end things.
Sequence 9. Cesare.
It wouldn't be a Brotherhood video without me manhandling some civilians.
Oh, that's right.
Ezio also did not.
Warning: Ezio
also did not manhandle them, which is a word I really like. Hey, he was there, wasn't he?
Did you really need to do that?
See, you cannot refute my ironclad logic of, well, he was there.
He was.
Cannot refute my ironclad logic of, well, he was there.
Now, in real life, there was a big falling out between the French and Borgia interests in Italy, because the French were like, we want to take over all of Italy, and Borgia were like, it more or less went along those lines. But they kind of tried to patch things up with a marriage between Cesare and daughter of some French duke or something. But the Borgia's power, the Borgia's power in real life was always dependent on Rodrigo being the Pope, and once he was Pope, turns out no one gave a shit about the Borgia anymore.
Alright, sister, you killed like 10 dudes without me being there. Congratulations. Let's go kill people. By the way, yada yada yada.
Now you have a brand on your life.
Nothing is true. Everything is permitted.
For the rest of your life.
Yada 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 yada. Yeah. It's better than that dipshit who accidentally cut his finger off.
Was Maria Auditore ever... You got a free hair gel.
But you got a free towel out of that mission.
Oh, free towel, of course. Oh, the one Kiwami side quest. Oh no, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't played. You still haven't played.
Again, I have to get around to it. It's just they keep making games I want to play, and they're not making the days any longer. So what am I have? What do I? What is it? What is a void to do?
Well, days will start getting longer in
9 days.
To a week and a half. Yes.
As I was saying, I don't think Maria Auditore ever became an assassin. That might have happened off screen, though.
No.
Let us say she is sympathetic to their interests.
And the one who caused the explosion as you fled to Castello. The mercenari protected you at Il Colosseo.
So yeah, Cesare knows some bad shit's going down in Roma, and he's lost a lot of firepower.
Yeah.
No, we did not kill him.
At least we killed
that's
Nicoletto.
canon, by the way. Ezio Auditore did not kill him. Because I think the story goes Micheletto floated around Italy for a while more and then kind of died in obscurity.
I intend to write a book about you one day. If you do, make it.
See, you know what would have been more dramatic if they had the Ezio diving into the direction of the Castel Sant'Angelo. That would have been better. Oh wait, this is sequence 7, not sequence. Sequence 9 is the very final mission. No.
Hey, the new memory of Christina. I'm
They
sure
parted on
nothing bad
amicable
will happen
terms,
in
and
that
that's
one.
what the final memory is all about, them parting on the aforementioned amicable terms. Yeah, sequence 8 is where you have the entire
As she
front
lies
of
bleeding in
Cream,
the streets.
the world map. The world is your oyster, as it were. See, now we got to have a dramatic.
Basically.
We got to have a dramatic overlook of Il Vaticano.
And I got bad feed, just like my hero Mega Man.
All right.